As always, it is so great to have you here and hope you're all staying safe and healthy out there. So we've made it to the final episode of November. I don't know about you, but for me 2025 is absolutely flying by. Anyways, with that being said, today we're making a recipe that's perfect for that chilly weather out there as it promises to warm your soul. We're talking Spanish chickpea and rice soup. This is known as una sopa de garbanzos con arroz. And let me tell you, this is not your typical chickpea soup. This is the next level goodness. That's just filled with layer upon layer of so many simple yet delicious flavors. Easy to make, where there's no tricky techniques or weird equipment needed. And the best part, done in about 40 minutes using just one pot. Folks, serve the soup next to a crunchy baguette and a bottle of Spanish red wine. More specifically from the region of Jumilla, and have yourself a fabulous meal. This video is sponsored by Tienda.com. The Tienda is an online superstore focusing on selling all things Spain for your home and kitchen, and they've been around since 1996. And like I always tell you, they have the biggest selection of artisan Spanish ingredients like queso manchego, the famous jamón serrano and jamón ibérico, Marcona almonds, olives, the beautiful canned seafood from Spain, and all the basic pantry staples you need, such as jarred chickpeas, which we're going to use in today's recipe, among so many other great ingredients. And let me tell you, when it comes to cookware, they have an amazing selection of authentic Spanish paella pans that range in size from 2 servings all the way up to 50 servings. And they even offer classic grilling systems, that way you can always perfectly cook your paella. Folks, visit Tienda.com. Let them know Albert from Spain on a Fork sent you there. Make sure you use coupon code on a fork during checkout for 10% off your order. Alright, let's just dive right into this. I'm going to heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. Make sure you use the good stuff here, as this is the base side of the soup and what truly makes a difference. Leave where you get the Spanish one I'm using in the description box below. While the oil is heating, I'm going to finely chop 1 medium-sized onion, roughly chop 5 cloves of garlic, finely chop 1 green bell pepper, and finely chop 2 carrots that have been peeled. And if you prefer, you can chop the vegetables before heating the pan. Then we'll add the chopped ingredients into the stock pot. And we'll mix them around, that way they're all coated in the olive oil. And as you know, I like to mix this around continuously, that way everything evenly sautés. After about 4 minutes, and the vegetables are lightly sautéed, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of sherry vinegar, which is 15 milliliters. You can also use red wine vinegar here, or even apple cider vinegar. We'll also add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams. And half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix. And like I've told you in the past, when you're working with paprika in a hot pan, you want to mix it in there quickly. Otherwise, it can easily get a bitter flavor. Then we'll add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 120 grams. As always, I made mine by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, which is similar to passata. And we'll season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. While tomato sauce is simmering, I'm going to drain 1 jar of cooked chickpeas into a colander. This is the same thing as the canned ones. And rinse the chickpeas under some water. Size of the jar that I'm using is 25 ounces, which is 700 grams. Leave where you get the super soft Spanish chickpeas I'm using in the description box below. After simmering the tomato sauce between 3 to 4 minutes and it's slightly thickened, we'll add in the rinsed chickpeas, along with 1 liter of vegetable broth, which is 4¼ cups. You can also use chicken broth here, or even water if you like. Just make sure you season accordingly if you're using water. And 1 bay leaf. And then we'll turn it up to a high heat and give it a gentle mix. While the broth is heating, let's start prepping the rice. I'm going to measure out half a cup of rice, which is 95 grams. I'm using Spanish round rice, which is similar to arborio or any other type of short grain rice. Of course, you can use any rice you like here, though you might want to add less broth into the soup, as this type of rice absorbs more liquid than others. Once the broth comes to a boil in the stock pot, we'll add in the rice, and we'll give it 1 final mix. And then we'll place the lid on the stock pot and lower the fire to a low heat and simmer this between 16 to 18 minutes or until the rice is just cooked through. Important to check the package instructions in the rice you're using. That way you cook it right on the money. Once the rice is just cooked through, this is ready to go. I'm going to remove the stock pot from the heat and transfer some of the soup into a shallow bowl. And we'll top it off with some chopped parsley. Check it out, our Spanish chickpea and rice soup is done. Easy to make, simple heart-healthy ingredients, and all done in about 40 minutes using just one pot. Let's give this a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, una sopa de garbanzos con arroz, and I tell you, it smells absolutely delicious in the kitchen today. Here we go. That was a big bite. Check that out. This right here is truly what healthy comfort food's all about. But most importantly, with that first bite, it warms your soul. Easy to make, heart healthy. Give it a try at home. Once again, next to a crunchy baguette and a bottle of Spanish red wine from the beautiful region of Jumilla, you're gonna have yourself a fabulous meal. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Robert Gerhardt, Andrew Scotchmer, and Brian Sweeney. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. Enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.